What's up guys, it's Jono here, and in this video I want to share an automation hack that allowed my company to increase the amount of money we made by fourfold. Now, just for comparison's sake, our company does generate around $100,000 every single month, and with this one little automation, you can effectively increase your sales by fourfold, and it's only going to take you approximately 5 minutes to get started. Now, if you're like most businesses, at least in the service-based, industries, you're generating leads, right? And one of the biggest things that you can do right now to increase those sales is just calling people faster, right? So there is a study out there that shows that if you call somebody within 60 seconds, right, of them inquiring, you're going to increase your potential of closing that deal by 391%. So in my team, we have sales reps, and sometimes they were focusing on calling leads that were stale, right? And if you've done sales or cold outreach, you know that it can be super frustrating calling people and they just don't pick up, right? So instead, what you can do is build an automation where you can essentially call that person automatically in 10 seconds. So let's dive in. Okay, so in front of me, I have make.com. Now, it's free to get started if you guys don't use it. And essentially, in this specific scenario, there's actually 2 steps. So it's incredibly simple. There's a webhook step and there's an HTTP step. Now, these are actually very similar steps, and for most people that are starting out with automation, it's a bit scary, but they're actually really simple, and they are the fundamental building blocks of a lot of automated programs. So with webhooks, essentially what happens is that and same with HTTP actually, you're communicating with other platforms. So for example, in this instance, we have a lead that's coming in from a website, and we're using WordPress in this example, but you can use Weebly, Wix, or whatever you want. They're all going to work the same. So we have information that's being sent from your website to make.com, and then once it's captured in make.com, you may want to process the information and then send it somewhere else. And in this example, we're sending that information from make.com into our CRM, which is Go High Level. And then from Go High Level, we're going to send an automated text message to yourself or your team members, just notifying you have a lead, and that's going to be processed probably within 10 seconds with that person actually inquiring. And then you can actually set up an automated call between you and that person within 10 seconds as well. So that's going to maximize your conversion rate, and it's going to beat out all your competitors because they can't call somebody within 5 seconds. They can't do it faster than something that would be procedurally generated. So let's jump in and see how this works. So I'm using Elementor on WordPress. I've built a page here. It's one of the sexiest, nicest pages you'll ever see. Here it is. It's just a form, no modification whatsoever. We're just capturing 4 pieces of information: first name, last name, email, and phone number. Now, personally, for me, I like to separate the first name and the last name, just because we can use that in different areas of the automation. If you guys aren't familiar with setting up a form, really simple. You can just go ahead and you can add your first name. I like to put the label and the placeholder as first name, and then in the advanced section here, the ID, first name, separated instead of spaces by underscores, just to keep it simple here, because this ID is going to be passed into make.com, and this is how you're going to understand which piece of information you're working with. So it's better to keep it a bit organized. So you got first name, you got last name, same kind of deal here with the ID, and then you have email and phone number. This is what I like to keep it at. Any more information, I find that there is a drop-off rate where people are not wanting to fill out the information, and every additional step results in less conversions. Okay, so we got this form. It looks absolutely amazing. Spent a ton of time styling it and making sure it looks professional. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to make.com, and we're actually going to create a new scenario. And I'm just going to call this test video form, and I'm going to go ahead and create a webhook here. With this webhook, we're going to go ahead and create custom webhook. Now, we just got to create a name here. Test video webhook, and I'm going to click save, and then we can copy the address here. Okay, so we can copy this address, and then over back in our form here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that we have actions after submit, and you wanna have the webhook here accessible so that we can program with that. And in the webhook, you're just gonna paste the URL, and that URL you can get from this webhook. And essentially what's going on here is you're saying when the form is submitted, one of the actions that I want you to take is going to be, and you can see all the actions here, collect the submission, email it to yourself, and then one of them is going to be your webhook. So when the form is submitted, I want you to send this information to this endpoint or to this URL, and that URL is located here. So we're going to click OK, run the scenario, and we're going to go ahead and fill out the form. test134@gmail.com and 604. Okay, cool. So we're going to click send here, and then we're going to come back here and because an error of the webhook. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and got it. We're going to update this. So what happened was there's an outdated version of the page on the preview mode. So we're going to go ahead, same kind of deal, enter the information in once again. Okay. Awesome, form was successfully submitted. We can come back here, we see the information here. Once again, those ID strings are passed in as the keys. This is a key, this is a value. So we have the information that we're looking for, and now what we want to do is send this into the CRM. So we're going to use the HTTP module here to send it into the CRM. You can also use something like Zapier.com if you guys are more familiar with that, and it is a bit easier. It's just that Make, in my opinion, is significantly better. We're gonna go into go high level here, and we're gonna start an automation, a new automation from scratch. I'm gonna label this test video, and we have to have a trigger. So in automated sequences, there's triggers and actions. The trigger starts the sequence, and then the actions are what happens after the trigger has started. So in this case, we're gonna do an inbound webhook, and same kind of deal. We have a URL here, and we're gonna post it in the URL. Now for the method, this is quite important. We need to choose post. Essentially what this is it's jargon or lingo for coders. There's quite a few different requests here, but the most common are like get, post, put, and delete. Essentially what that means is that with this URL, we're gonna post information, we're gonna send information. So we're gonna send that form information. We're gonna send the first name, last name, email, phone number. In a get method, what you'd be doing is you'd be sending something to this server, and you'd be requesting information to send back to you. It could be maybe you're trying to find something about that client, but in this case, we're sending information. We use the post method, and then a body type, we can go ahead and use application -x www form URL encoded, and then we're just going to add all the fields that we want. So we're going to go ahead, first name and last name, email, and phone. Okay, and then you can see the form information here. So we're just going to correspond the key with the value. So first name is going to equal first name, which is Jono. Last name is going to equal last name, which is Catlif. Email is going to equal email, which is test1234@gmail.com, and then phone is going to be the phone. Okay, so we're good to go. This is pretty much done. All we have to do is click run one more time. We're going to test this out once again. So Jono, Catlif, test1234@gmail.com, 6045. Okay, form's done. We're going to click send. It's going to come in here, and we can see that the automation worked. We sent it to go high level. We can now fetch the sample, and we can see it's pulled in here with all the information. First name, Jono, last name, Catlif, email, and phone. Now, typically when you're dealing with leads in any CRM, you're going to have to create that lead in the CRM through the automation. So we're going to go ahead and do that and just create a new lead with the information that's passed through. So the email is going to equal the inbound webhook trigger email. And this is going to be slightly different if you're using HubSpot or Salesforce or any other CRM. First name is going to be inbound webhook trigger, first name, same kind of deal, last name and email as well. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Okay, last name's done. And finally, we got the phone. Okay, so you'll notice that there is quite a bit of like mapping certain, variables to certain, fields, but you only have to do this once, right? And then you never have to worry about it again. Okay, so we're pretty much done. We've got the information here. There's just 2 more steps. The first thing is we want to send a text message to ourselves, right, to notify us that somebody has inquired. So we can just go to a particular user and we can send it to myself here, and we can say, hey, Jono, hurry the, actually, we're not going to say hurry that up. We're going to say, hey, Jono, we've got a new lead, please call, and then you can say inbound webhook first name. So in this case, it'd be like John Smith or John, please call John at phone number here. So it's going to be the phone number, right? So you're going to get a text message right away. And if you have a sales team as well, you can send this to all of them. It doesn't have to just be yourself. Like what I like to do is have a round robin system. Actually, sorry, not a round robin system. For speed to lead, what I like to do is push out text messages to every single person on our team. And then whoever claims it the fastest gets the lead. The next step and the last step is a call. So you can actually schedule a call between you and the person that just inquired. How this essentially works is with the call feature and Go High Level, what's going to happen is when this action takes place, it's going to first call you. And then once you pick up the phone, you can press any key on the keypad, and then it's going to connect you into a call with the client, right? So now you guys are going to be talking together. The call whisper is essentially what will be said when you pick up the phone on your end. So you'll pick up the phone with like hello. It might be an unnumbered or a numbered call, so you don't know who it is. It's gonna say, hey, first name or who, your name. You have a new lead. Can you please call this person? Click any key on the keypad to get started. So in this instance, I program it being like, hey, Jono, which is me. You have a new lead. Please click any key on the keypad to be connected to a call with, and we're gonna go first name. And that's it. As soon as this action takes place, it's gonna automatically call the 2 of you, or it's gonna automatically connect the 2 of you into a call together. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'll just assign it to myself and we're all good to go. So that's essentially it. That is how you can create an automated system around leads. So if you want to increase the sales, if you want to make sure that you spend 4 times less having to call people, right? Just set up an automated system like this. In 10 seconds, you can be on the phone with somebody and you can be closing them on the service. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope this helped. If you liked this, please subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this and click the like button. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.